Hey, what's going on, Vikings fans? Skol back with another Minnesota Vikings video. Just want to say thank you guys for the support, first off, on the channel recently. Video yesterday did pretty well. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about Kyle Rudolph, his kind of memories with the Vikings, almost like a thank you, and kind of what does this mean, and what I think it means for other people, such as an Anthony Barr, who is still expected to make $15 million on the cap next year, which I don't want the Vikings to pay. Anyways, Kyle Rudolph, Anthony Barr, what do I think it all means? What do I think they're going to do? Anyways, I actually called them cutting Rudolph, as I think many of us did. You know, it was kind of not a shocking moment. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Kyle Rudolph, he got cut from the Vikings. And what does this mean for Anthony Barr? Let's get right into it. Rudy, man. He was the starting tight end for the past 10 years for the Vikings. Tight end one. I mean, that's what I think of him. I mean, when he first got in the league, you know, he was a little baby face, no tattoos, and now he's leaving Minnesota. He's got a full-on left sleeve, nice beard going. He's like a grown-ass man now. And anyways, just thanks, Kyle Rudolph, for being here. I think we all appreciate everything he's done. However, I also do think all Vikings fans should agree with this cutting. And I think if you guys know our team, if you guys know what kind of our cap situation, kind of know the young tight ends behind him, I think we can all get behind that this was a good move for the Vikes. Starting off with the cap hit. You know, we're only saving $5.2 million with the cap. However, he would have had a $10 million hit. So I think that plays out very well. We got $5 million more to spend this year. And it's not like we need to fill the tight end position with that $5 million. It's not like we're cutting a guy and then you're like, oh, why are you cutting him if you're just going to have to replace him right away? Well, we already had two guys who, honestly, I felt more comfortable rolling out into the season anyways, be like in front of Rudolph. I think Rudolph, at this point of his career, he is the third best tight end on the roster, and I think our tight end roster is very good. I'm not saying like Rudolph cannot go play somewhere. I think he can go somewhere and still be very effective. However, I'm just saying Irv Smith and Tyler Conklin, with the film they put out last year, especially towards the end of the year, I think this just made it much easier for the Vikings to come to Rudolph and kind of be honest with him and kind of say, hey, listen, we got these two young guys that have been kind of sitting behind you and they've been learning from you. You obviously want to go somewhere else. You want to have a bigger role if you're not stuck behind these two guys. I think it was a mutual thing, and I'm glad they did it early because now you're giving Rudolph more time to go out and find a team before the draft, before free agency kind of all wraps up. So now he has more options and more teams can look at him. So Vikings, I'm very excited. You know, I think Irv Smith, I think fantasy tight end, I think he should be top 10. And I think he's going to be somebody who everybody needs to just kind of keep their eye on because there was flashes last year. I've been kind of on Irv Smith for a while. I've been saying Irv, he's going to break out soon. He just needs his opportunity. His run blocking improved so much last season. I don't know if you guys remember those games where Dalvin absolutely ran wild this year. I think it was Green Bay and then Detroit, and then he kind of had another thing going in Chicago. It wasn't high yards per carry. Still eclipsed 100. Irv Smith was great in those games. You know, going back and watching some of the film he had, I mean, he isn't the biggest tight end like Rudy was. However, he knows how to get out in a pulling tight end, chop your feet, get down, and explode. Irv does that very well. Then I was looking at some of his catches he made. You know, he had a couple big catches at Seattle, and I'm just looking at him. I mean, he's pretty much a hybrid between a tight end and a wide receiver. So I'm very excited to see Irv, see how he gets after it. And then you also got a guy like Conklin. You know, even if Irv would go out for a game or two, you know, which he's had shown he does get injured, if he would have to go out for a game or two, it's not like I would be like panicking, like, oh, who's our backup tight? I think Conklin's great too. You know, I mean, in Vikings community, we call him Gronklin. I mean, Tyler Conklin, he just needs another chance. And I believe if he would get more reps and get more chances on the field, get more balls thrown his way, I think we could actually see himself solidify as a really good tight end too, because we know the Vikings love to run two tight end sets. And if those are the two guys we're rolling out, I'm fine with it. Well, getting into what this means for the cap situation. You know, we got a guy like Anthony Barr, a guy who missed the whole year last year, and he hasn't really lived up to his expectation. He gets a $15 million cap hit this season. I really do not want Barr back if he's going to be on that. I would advise the Minnesota Vikings, and there was a report that came out that he does not plan on restructuring. I know Barr's still good. I know people freak out saying Anthony Barr's terrible. He's not terrible. He's still a very good linebacker, except he's also not a $15 million a year linebacker. I say you either try to convert him to a D end and then maybe draft another linebacker in the 3rd round, or you just have to say you got to restructure or else you're getting cut. And I know technically you lose money by cutting him, but you also just can't have a $15 million linebacker when your quarterback's already getting $30 million, when kind of both of them don't really live up to their contract. It's just that's how you get in the NFL purgatory, where you're going 8-8, you're going 7-9 every single year for about the next 3 years, and that's where I don't want the Vikings to fall into. I would just be honest with Barr, kind of like how you are with Rudy, and say, hey, listen, we want the best for this team. And he's still playing next to his, pretty much his brother and Eric Kendricks. They roomed at UCLA. There's a pull there, and maybe if Kendricks can get in there and say, hey, we have a chance to be good this year. I don't know. It would be definitely tough to come to Barr and say, we need you to restructure. I think it definitely does affect him. I'm going to be probably making a video about Barr's situation as a whole and probably hopping in the film. But also, I just don't know if it's even worth it. You got to look at, I got to go back and kind of evaluate Barr, because we didn't really have any film on him last year. And the year before that, he was kind of disappointing. So you kind of got a 2-year, 3-year gap, since Barr's been at a Pro Bowl level. It's a very tough situation, but however, that's where I stand as now. If he's going to hit that $15 million, I'd rather have them cut him than for him to play at 15. However, I'd love to have him back at even 10. Anyways, that's been the video, guys. Leave a like on the video, comment down below, sub to the channel for more. Talk to you guys next time. Skol Vikes.